Welcome to Coding Blind Tech. Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to Coding Blind Tech. And in this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. It's only going to be a few minutes long, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about how I use AI daily. Alright, so getting started, I use ChatGPT, and I use that in the web browser. I use Claude, and I use that on the desktop, so Claude Desktop, and I'm on Windows. And then I use Claude Code CLI and then Codex CLI. So this is the 4 main ways that I use AI. So getting started with ChatGPT, I use this mostly for web search, so deep dive whenever I want to, and this could be a wide it could be anything really. It doesn't have to just be related to coding. It could be just something personal. It could be cooking. It could be just wanting to learn something new and do a deep dive web search. So getting started with Claude, so Claude Desktop, and more specifically Claude Desktop Chat. I use Claude Desktop Chat a lot for system design, so deep level thinking when it comes to software, so software architecture or infrastructure. Whenever I'm thinking about databases and the purpose, or the problem I'm trying to solve, give me a few different tools. Let's look at the best ones for the job, and then basically breaking that down and trying to work out all the edge cases I can. And doing that with AI makes things, especially with Claude Desktop, it's pretty good at doing that. So getting into Claude Code, so Claude Code and Codex is Claude Code on the command line and Codex on the command line. This is where I spend most of my time. So I do not use Claude Code or Codex CLI without a harness. So I always create an AGENTS.md for Codex, and then I always create the Claude.md for Claude Code. So, and on the Claude Code side, I'm normally using the Opus 4.8 model, whatever big model they have that's out. And then on the Codex side, I'm using GPT 5.5. So again, I always provide that harness. It's handwritten, talks about project level information. And then also I use Obsidian Vault, so it always points to the vault. And then I have the .agents directory and the .claude directory, and this is where I keep my skills, my rules, profiles, things like that. So there's the AI tools that I use and sort of high level overview of how I use them. I think it's important to use them with a harness. Prompting is not the way to use the models. That's just a piece of it. I think the biggest thing is orchestration and getting these models to have these skills and an understanding, especially around facts, assuming is a part of learning, but allowing an assumption to not be brought up or flagged as an assumption and it being misled as a fact. So those things are important. But all right, so I hope you learned something from this video. Again, this is a little different. On screen, I've just got some slides going as I'm talking. And if you learned anything or have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed. All right, see you in the next one. Bye.